Welcome to AH University, brought to you by Aggressive Hydraulics. Tony Casassa, the engineering manager at Aggressive Hydraulics, leads this 5-part series that will include the following topics: bearing and bushing basics, key characteristics, stress, types, and implementation. In this third video, the topic is stress and forces and their impact on bearings and bushings.
Bushing or bearing stress. So we've talked about stress a little bit before. So stress as a calculation is force divided by area. And so we have something like a pin mount here. We have two plates. Imagine one's connected to the cylinder, the other's connected to the machine, pushing or pulling in opposite directions. We have a hole through the middle of the two plates that this pin is going through. And if we look at that cross section, even though it's a half circle, we cut it straight through and just look at it in 2 dimensions. We have a rectangle, which is where we see our little red arrows here, and we have a diameter of the pin, which is the length of the rectangle, and we have a thickness of the plate, which is the height of the rectangle, and that gives us an area. And then we would divide the force by that area, and we would come up with a stress, typically in units of pounds per square inch. So kind of the same thing, pictured as a cylinder with a cross tube mount. We cut that cross tube in half. We see, in this case, 2 rectangular areas because there's 2 bushings with a gap in between to allow grease flow. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But we can calculate the area of each rectangle and add them together to get a total area. We can know the force of the cylinder, the pushing or pulling force of the cylinder based on things we discussed last week with cylinder sizing. We have a force and we have an area, so we can calculate the stress on the bearings.
This concludes Part 3. Be sure to check out the remaining videos linked below.
Contact us today to start your purpose-built process.